Hello and welcome to the special edition of Christmas MuVies Spotlight. I'm your host, Dawn Mack, and I'm here with my lovely and wonderful co-host, Pam. How are you, Pam?
I'm doing good. I didn't have any donuts today, but I still have energy.
You read my mind. I was going to ask you, had you had any donuts before we came on air? And, well, you don't sound quite as perky as you did last week, the whole sugar rush thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's always good to be on air with you and to bring you our show every single week. We want to welcome all the listeners out there, and we're glad to have you here for the special edition of Christmas MuVies Spotlight. Today, we welcome the handsome and immensely talented Giles Panton to our show. And Giles is by far winning the prize for the actor appearing in the most Christmas movies this holiday season. Oh, my gosh. It's unbelievable. He's in 5 movies, folks. 5, count them, 5, of the gazillion. But any actor that's in that many movies, that's a feat. That is an amazing feat.
Most definitely. I mean, we were just blown away when we saw that he was in 5 movies, and we had to actually go back and look, is this for real? Are we really seeing 5?
Yeah.
But yes, there's 5.
And really?
You can see Giles in the upcoming Hallmark Channel Countdown to Christmas movie, It's Christmas Eve, A God-Wink Christmas on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, Christmas Pen Pals on Lifetime, Christmas on Holly Lane on Up TV, and later in the season, A Gingerbread Romance on Hallmark Channel.
And Hallmarkies and Chessies got to see Giles this past summer in the role of Chris Smith on Chesapeake Shores, and he has held numerous roles throughout his career.
Well, this man is phenomenal. I mean, everybody loves him, including the networks, because as you can see, they all want him.
He's a hot commodity, as they say. He's in demand.
Yes.
And we know. I mean, we know by virtue of watching all of these networks, and we see a lot of our favorite actors and actresses. They're interchanging between networks and doing different movies, and they're just great in whatever they do anyway. And so, sometimes it's a little bit challenging to try to keep up with all of them, depending upon where they are and what they're doing. But Giles, I mean, for the holiday season specifically, he's just accomplished something that nobody else has, obviously, for the holiday season. 5 movies could you imagine how much he's been working of late with all the filming that goes on? I mean, we know that Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, they've been filming, over the last couple of months, and they'll film a movie in 3 weeks, and then they move on to the next movie. And so he has been pretty busy indeed. So the fact that he had any time for us to do an interview in the midst of his crazy busy schedule and life right now was just a feat in itself, for sure.
We were definitely honored.
Yes, and we are so excited and honored to bring you our interview with Giles Panton.
Enjoy the show. Well, thank you so much for calling in today. We really do appreciate it and taking time out of your extremely, extremely busy schedule. It means a lot to us that you can take the time.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, we love to start off our chats with asking who or what inspired you to become an actor. And needless to say, every story has been very interesting, and I'm sure yours is too. So hit it.
Well, I'd say it's pretty roundabout. I didn't know I wanted to be an actor until college, but I think when the seed was planted was when I was a kid, and my do you guys remember those Ernest movies, like Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Goes to Jail and all the silly movies? Yeah, so when I was a kid, my dad took me to the theater to watch that, and we were 10 minutes late, so we completely missed it. And it was a small little 2-theater play, so the only other movie playing was The Hunt for Red October with Sean Connery and I believe it was Alec Baldwin. And so my dad basically turned to me and said, "Do not tell your mom." And I must have been 8. And 15 minutes later, we watched The Hunt for Red October, and that was like the first proper movie I'd ever seen, and it definitely left an impression. And I think that's when a part of me was like, ooh, this is something I'm interested in.
Where did you go from there? Did you take acting classes, or did this just come naturally for you?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, like I said, it didn't quite. That was maybe where I was bit by the bug, but I didn't even touch acting until college. So I took an intro acting class. I was very interested in it. A family friend owned an acting school, and I went and checked out a 3-month course there. When I finished that, I spoke to the teacher and said, hey, look, this is – because I was not enjoying university. And I basically laid it all out there. I said, hey, I love this. I'm at an impasse. I don't know what to do with this. What would you suggest? And she suggested I try out for their full-time program, and I did. I got in, and I didn't look back. That was a year. From there, I went to New York for a little bit, just trained all over the place nonstop for a while, and I was hooked. But looking back, I was always a performer. Like in high school, I was a student council president. I was on 5 different bands. I was a drummer for the longest time. So it makes sense looking back. But it wasn't until
you were
college.
You were artistic in a lot of different ways without realizing it. So it does make sense. Yeah. Now, you also do voiceover work. How do you prepare for something like that? Do you get to try out different voices or just go with what that particular director is looking for?
In the process of auditioning is when it's really crazy, because I've worked on monsters, I've worked on playing kids. So for anyone walking by outside of my studio, it must sound like something insane is going on in here, because it's a wild experimentation of sounds, I would say. So it's and then when you get to the room. A lot of times they'll go with what ended up booking you the part through the auditioning process, but sometimes on the day we'll work around. I remember the weirdest direction I ever got was from this really eccentric guy for on this larger cartoon, and he said something on the lines of, he was like, "Yeah, your character's like a Klingon, but more Romulan," and I just kind of stared at him through the glass. I was like, I got half of that. I got about half of that.
That narrowed it down, didn't it? Well, you've had quite the career. Plus, speaking of, playing a variety of characters in such iconic series as Flash Gordon and Smallville and Supernatural, to name a few. And what has been your most challenging role to date that has stretched you the most as an actor?
Wow, most challenging. I played a father just lost his 10-year-old daughter in a movie that's just come out. It's just doing the festival circuit right now, and that was probably the toughest role for me. It was really, really heavy, and it stays with you. I mean, I'm not a father yet, but I can only imagine. And it was. There's been other roles that have been technically more difficult, like or just mentally more difficult. Like I remember my first big role on TV. I was I was nervous the entire show, all 11 episodes I did. But this one I think was just so meaningful and heavy that it was possibly the hardest. And at the same time, easiest I've ever done. It was really weird in that way.
Yeah, I can imagine that would affect you mentally and emotionally, especially when you've got to play a role that has to be believable in order to pull it off for the story. And, that would be incredibly challenging nonetheless. It's hard enough if things like that happen in real life, but to portray that and make it believable, that's got to be something.
Yeah, and then do it in front of 50 relative strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Who are standing around. It's a weird job, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, fans had the pleasure of seeing you in Chesapeake Shores, including Pam and I. And and we were so excited to see you this season playing the role of Chris Smith, Mick's attorney. And we do hope there's going to be a season 4, and would definitely love to see you more in this series. And for your character to have a prominent role, what would you like to see happen with Chris Smith?
Chris Smith, the Waffle King.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors about this season 4. There's been some interesting nods from writers and things like that. I don't think anything's been confirmed yet whether it's happening or not, but they sure love to tease it, don't they? Chris
my
Smith.
gosh, yeah.
What would I like? I mean, obviously there would. If Chris Smith returns, I would want a scene that honors his true waffle kingdom and has him serving waffles of some sort. What I love about Chris is he's relatively emotionless unless he's talking about waffles. That's the only time he seems to get excited. So I would love a scene where he's just this waxing poetic on like the beauty and amazing thing that is the waffle. I think that'd be amazing. I don't know how they fit it into the storyline, but they're brilliant, so they could make it work.
I could tell you how they could do it. If Jess and David open up a B&B or a new one, his parents supposedly have landed them a brand new one just as an apology. Well, we'll bring you in, and you can just do your Waffle King thing.
And I have to interject here for a moment because I have to say, Dawn, get out of my head, because that was exactly what I was thinking. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think the fans would eat that up because there was so much running jokery about that on social media. You and I had some banter back up. So it was so yeah, undoubtedly the fans would love that. And it would be
amazing. I'm 100% behind that idea. I love that one.
And undoubtedly, the fans are also screaming for season 4, so I'm hoping that they're definitely gonna bring it back, and we'll get to see more of you on screen. Fingers crossed.
It's a really high performing show. It's done very well for Hallmark. So
undoubtedly.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I put in like every tweet that I put out for the last few episodes. And tagged Hallmark, need season 4, and at one point in time I had said something to them, and I'm like, so that's going to happen on season 4, right, Hallmark? But, of course, they don't answer you on those questions.
Let's deal on that.
Well, that show is just outstanding, and it kind of leads me into outstanding for you because you won Best Actor in a Supporting Role as Jack for the film The Curtain. And first of all, congratulations on that. And
thank you so much.
Was your first thought? You're welcome. What was your first thoughts that went through your head when you heard it?
That I'd won?
Yeah.
That I heard. Oh, I was kind of stunned because I didn't even know I was entered. There was a whole bunch of. There was a whole that movie has performed insanely well. It's gotten awards at film festivals all over the world so far, and that was a film festival in California that it was at. And when I found out that I won, and when I found out who I beat to get the award, I was a bit stunned. I had I'd say there's few moments. I mean, and actors are very self-critical. We're not known for I don't know for being easy on ourselves. But there's a few moments in my career where I've really taken a pause and been like, wow, that's like, remember this moment. This makes all the work worthwhile, and that was one of them. I was really touched.
Well, speaking of awards, we have to say that if they were awarding prizes for the actor who is starring in the most Christmas movies this season, you would win hands down, no question about it. And I mean, really, seriously, you've landed 5 roles in 5 amazing holiday movies, which we cannot wait to watch, by the way. And I know fans of yours are also equally excited to just know that you're going to be on screen that much. But we would like for you, if you can, to take a little time to discuss a little about each of the movies. Pam and I are going to kind of take turns to kind of give you a chance to reflect on each one. And the first one that I want to talk to you about is the movie It's Christmas Eve, which is coming up on November 10th on the Hallmark Channel. And that, just the previews alone, I know it's going to be a great movie. What can you tell us about this movie without giving too much away?
I mean, it was just so much fun to work with Leanne Rimes. She's great, and the fact that there's all this original music in it, I think it's a really, it just makes it that much more special. And I know I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but it was so much fun on set, and it was such a great ensemble cast. And what can I tell you without giving anything away? I mean, they're always so much fun, right? But I think this one has a really, really good blend of just like good laughing and heartfelt moments. I think this really does. This one hits the perfect line of like drama, romantic comedy.
That's great. Now, your character, what is your character doing in this movie?
I play a father of two very rambunctious twins. Twin boys, and I'm a computer programmer, designer, and I play a very important part in them bringing the town together. And I don't think I need to read the breakdown again to see what I can say, but it's
that's great.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's enough of a teaser, and then with the preview that's out, it doesn't really give anything away, so you did very well.
Right. Right, exactly.
No, I don't have any listeners knocking on my door. Yeah, no.
For sure.
Well, the next movie up is A God Wink Christmas, which debuts on November 18th on the Hallmark Movies and Mystery channel. And that, from what I understand from the previews, is based on a true story.
Yes, and it is such a special movie. I'm so lucky to have been part of it. It's a unique one, on a lot of levels, because it really takes the time to tell everyone's story. I know a lot of times, and Hallmark is so good at making just wonderful rom-coms and Christmas movies, but a lot of times they tend to focus a lot on the two leads. This movie spends a lot of time fleshing out everybody, which I think is really, really unique and beautiful in this way. And it was, especially since it was a true story, it was very special to be a part of. Plus the cast is. I mean, I'm gonna say this about every movie, firstly, but I loved working with everybody, and so if I sound like a broken record, I apologize about that. But there's so many great people in this industry. In every movie, I get to meet someone new, and I feel like the luckiest guy ever.
You really are. You really are.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character in that movie?
Yeah, I'm very close to Kimberly's character in the movie, and I haven't read the breakdown. I don't know what I can say. I'm so sorry, but I'm a really, really loving guy that's just struggling to support her, and the two of us came together at a difficult point in her life, and we were really there for each other, and as these movies go, we just we go on a journey together.
Well, listen, we can't hold anything against you when things are a blur, considering how many movies you've done recently. I'm surprised you remember any part of it at all right now.
Well, I can give you the whole script description. I just don't know if I'll be getting in trouble or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we definitely. Well, I did preface it by saying, without giving too much away.
Right.
We definitely don't want to spoil it for the listeners or, us even, because we're looking forward to seeing the movies too. So definitely, you're fine. Well, we get to see you back on the Hallmark Channel Channel on December 15th in a gingerbread romance. And
Yes.
from what we've read about this, it just looks like a really cute movie. If you can, talk a little bit about your character. What does your character do in this movie?
This movie's adorable. I am Tia's character, Taylor, and I are architects. We used to be part of the same firm, and we're good friends. And I split off to a different firm to pursue my own passions, and we end up being the ones who are going head to head in this big gingerbread making competition. So it's and I will say it's life-size gingerbread houses, so it's pretty amazing. And for several of the scenes they used real gingerbread as they were making it, so it just smelled amazing. We were having a hard time not biting this thing.
Yeah. as if the movie and the sets don't put you in the holiday spirit enough, even if it's 95 degrees outside when you're filming. But to have those aromas going, it's like, that would be amazing. And it wouldn't be Hallmark if there was not food involved. Let's just be honest.
Oh, no. I mean, there were several shots. There were several shots where there was pies and cakes and popcorn and cupcakes and just everything mixed in with the gingerbread. And I'm surprised I didn't get kicked off that set for eating everything.
Well, and by the way, I wondered, and I know fans really wondered this about the Hallmark movies. Almost every movie you see food, and it always looks amazing. And I assume it's real. Do you guys get to eat any of that or partake any of that once you're done shooting a scene or what have you? I mean, what do they do with all that food?
You probably don't want to because it'll have been out for like 12, 13, 14 hours.
That's a good point.
By the time you're done, so even and just baking under movie lights. So even if it's like a wonderful pastry, by the end of the day, it's gonna have a very different chemical composition than when it started.
Yeah, for sure. That's a very good point. But it always looks so great on television. I mean, I've even tweeted, Hallmark always makes me watching Hallmark movies always makes me want to eat because you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that pumpkin pie right now. It's just part of it all, I guess, the experience.
I'm with you. Okay, because on Godwink, we actually had a scene where we had these insane cranberry scones. And we were eating them, and they had to keep bringing more in because we almost didn't have lunch that. Those were so good.
That's so funny. I can imagine. When they were putting the gingerbread houses together, I'm sure it was fresh at that point. You could have went behind and took off a little piece of the door or something without anybody seeing. So
my luck, the whole wall would come down, and they'd be like, "Okay, I can do that," and I'd have like gingerbread things up my face. It wasn't there. I swear.
Oh my gosh. So next up we have Christmas Pen Pals that debuts December 15th on Lifetime. That has quite the cast too.
Yes, it does. That one was that was fun for me because we have a whole skating sequence in that movie, and I haven't skated in a while. So, and I've known Niall for years, and I hadn't run into him yet, so I'm skating on the ice practicing before we start shooting, and this guy comes barreling over in hockey stops and just sprays me with snow, and the bear hugs me, and because he played hockey when he was younger, so he could skate circles around me. But it was so much fun. I really loved that one, and it's such a cute story, the whole Christmas Pen Pals idea and writing letters, and it's it was. I made sure we had Santa at the ice rink that day, and I got my fair share of pictures with him too, because I'm just a big kid.
Aww.
So cute.
And people maybe after seeing this movie will start writing more letters because we live in the era of text messages and social media, and I just don't think that people take the time anymore to do any type of letter writing except maybe at Christmas time when, you send out your cards or, maybe add a little note to it.
I am with you. There's something so special about getting a letter in the mail. I mean, we're so technology driven these days that I'm almost surprised if someone phones me. I'm like, why did you could have texted?
For real, it's what we've come to, as a society. And I remember, sending Christmas cards during the holidays. That was such a traditional staple part of the holiday season, and people have just gotten away from doing that. So it would be really special to do that now. And I'm with Pam. I hope it inspires people to really take up writing again.
I hope so too.
And
we could use that as a hashtag. Start writing again. Be pen pal.
Hey, there we go for that movie. That's what we can tweet out. Hashtag, get it trending. Yeah. Well, you are in one more movie over the holiday season on December 16th on Up TV. You're in Christmas in Holly Lane. And Pam and I have seen the trailer for this, and oh my gosh, it looks like such a great movie. Talk a little bit about your role in this movie, if you can. I'm so excited about this.
This one, for the holidays, not everyone's holiday is picture perfect, like the holidays can be painful for some families. And so the role that I play in this movie is of the husband and a father in a family that's not doing the best. And we have a 13-year-old daughter, and it's Christmas time, and things aren't as shiny for us as they ideally would be. But she just has these amazing friends. And what I really do love, in particular about this story, is that it really is about their friendship, about these three women and their their amazing friendship, and how they don't really need anyone but each other. And it's it was a lot of fun on a lot of levels. And a little secret actually about this movie is they've cut two different versions. They've cut two different versions, and I'm not sure where the other version's going, but there's one version that's a bit more jolly and happy, and there's another version that has a lot more scenes of our struggle as a family. So, I've never heard of them doing that, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I'd love to see both because they'll be slightly different movies.
Maybe the happy and jolly one will end up on Hallmark Channel next year.
Maybe. Or maybe that's the one that's going to be enough. The other one goes somewhere else.
Well,
I don't even know.
If not that, maybe Hallmark Channel will announce they're adding a 38th movie. There's the 38th. They announced they're up to 37 the other day. Who knows? This may be a last-minute surprise. Gotcha.
I would round out my quartet on Hallmark, and that'd be amazing.
Yeah, there you go. It would be totally okay with me and probably a million of your fans. Well, thank you for sharing about each of those movies. We are so excited to see you in each of these for the holiday. We can't hardly wait for it to all get started, actually, and it's just right around the corner. And before we wrap up, we always like to play a little game called a 5-question lightning round. And it is Christmas related. There are no wrong answers, but just kind of want to get your take on a couple of things. We'll start with the first question. What is your favorite Christmas tradition?
Wow, there's so many. Eggnog, decorating the tree. It might sound kind of silly, but when I was younger, my brother and I, we would just sit in the games room in our home and watch silly cartoon comedies and just laugh our butts off. And there was something just so special about that. You know what? I think comedy around Christmas for me is still one of my favorite things to do. Just find some cheesy, funny movie and just laugh your butt off. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. What's your favorite Christmas song?
This is supposed to be lightning round. 3 songs popped into my head at the same time, though. So but I will say the one from Home Alone. What is that one? It's the song from Home Alone. I don't know its name, but it's in.
Is it an instrumental song?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay, that's
gets
great.
Really big. Yeah, I love that one.
All right, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Well, it's Die Hard. I know that's not really a Christmas movie, but it is technically a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I love that one.
And that is up for debate, right? You know, like, is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? You know, it's like, it can be whatever movie you want it to be, right? You know, if you watch it at Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. All right, hot toddy or hot chocolate?
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Hot toddy has a little extra kick, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yes. I haven't heard of yes, hot toddy. I love hot toddies. I'm more used to the Baileys with hot chocolate. Is that a hot toddy or is it something else?
Oh, yeah. No, it's different, but I can go with the Baileys and the hot chocolate. That would be great.
Yeah.
And last but not least, white lights or colored lights?
That's so hard. It depends. Colored lights. Growing up, we had colored lights all over the house, and that just brings back the most memories.
Oh, yeah. I mean, either or at Christmas time, but there's something about those colored lights, you know?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for playing. That completes our 5-question lightning round.
And before we let you go, I would like to ask you if you would mind sharing your social media with the listeners out there so they know where to find you, and also if you'd like to give a shout-out to the fans.
Of course, to all of them. You can follow me on Twitter at @G_Panton, on Instagram at Giles Panton, and all my fans, all fans of Hallmark, everybody who's listening, thank you so much. I honestly, I couldn't do this job without you, literally. If you weren't out there to watch these movies, I would be acting with a cardboard box and a little lamp, and that might be fun, but it's not the same. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We are, you know, it is fun seeing you on screen, and I really hope as time goes on that you'll get a leading role in a Hallmark movie, and we'll be able to see you more and more because you are phenomenal at what you do, and you bring so much to the movies that the characters that you portray. And so we are excited to see you over the holiday season and all these movies. But thank you so much for being our special guest and chatting with us about your career and just everything going on with you. We really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and I thank you as well, and we look forward to seeing each and every movie and any other projects that you have coming up, so please keep in touch with us.
Of course.
Thanks
okay.
again.
Well,
have a great
day,
night.
everyone. That was fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.